What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, the burning question everybody wants to know: how much can you put a Coyote in a new edge for? That's what we're going to talk about today. Grab a sandwich, let's dive in. All right, guys, real quick, if you're new to the channel, if you're just stopping in because you want to know how much it costs to Coyote swap a new Edge Mustang, this car, obviously, 02 Mustang GT stick shift car, built right here on the channel. The entire build is here on the channel. All the part numbers are in those videos. So please, if you need a part number or something like that, or you're not sure about something, we've documented this entire build. It's all here. Go back and check it out. Today, we're talking about what all this cost, what it takes to have a running and driving Coyote in your new Edge or 96 to 98 Mustang GT. So bear that in mind as we get started. All right, guys, here is the deal. We're talking about a perfect world right here. You have to have a 96 to 04 Mustang GT. That is a modular powered 4.6 and a manual. This is what these numbers pertain to. Now, if you've got a V6 car, none of these apply. If your car is an automatic, most of these don't apply. Some of them do apply, some don't. But again, this is why I hate doing videos like this, talking about cost, because there are so many variables. I couldn't even begin. I've tried many times to do the Fox body one. There's way too many variables. But this is what you got. If you have a 96 to 04 modular V8 powered 4.6 GT or Cobra, same deal. All right, guys, so here it is. Here's a number you all been waiting for, $5,400. So if you want a number, the bare bones, guys, the bare minimum. If you've got a 96 to 04 Mustang GT, and the car's equipped with a stick shift, which would be a T45 or a 3650, you can swap a Coyote in for $5,400. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, here's the thing. You can buy parts used. Let's talk about the biggest thing, the engine, okay? You can the prices for engines are all over the place. Just depends what you want. Mustang, truck, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. I did this at the bare minimum, a truck Gen 1 engine, which by all means, guys, they're great engines. That's what's in my car. Made 430 to the tires and is basically on the cusp of running 10s all motors. So there's no issues with running a truck motor, I promise. So I went on eBay, I looked on LKQ, all these different places, and got about an average of, and I figured $2,700 for an engine, okay? And that's factoring in to this $5,400 price tag that I've got you. Let's talk about the parts real quick. You need a control pack, okay? Control pack on LMR is $1,527. There you go. You need a you need a pedal bracket to mount your pedal from Scram Speed. Scram Speed. You can get that on LMR as well, 89 bucks. You need some fuel line fittings to make your fuel system return style. Now, this is only on the 99 to 04 cars. 96 to 98, guys, you're good. You don't have to buy these. 40 bucks for the fittings, roundabout. You will need headers. Sorry, you can't get around it. The cheapest set of Coyote swap headers I could find, 599 bucks for some chrome long tubes, 1 3/4. And of course, you'll need an H pipe. The cheapest H pipe I could find, again, on LMR, 184 bucks. That's 3-inch do-it-yourself X pipe. Fuel system, again, this is 99 to 04, which is returnless. You got to convert to return style. You've got to get the 98 pump assembly, which is 199 bucks, and then you've got to get the the 2001 Corvette fuel filter, which is internally regulated. Convert your system to return style, and you're going to pay anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks for those at any parts store. You'll need an 8-bolt flywheel, about 100 bucks. Let's see, what else do we have on here? That's going to be about it, guys, as far as your parts, okay? And again, you're roughly $5,400, and again, I'm figuring the engine at $2,700. All right, guys, so let's talk about this $5,400 number. Now, I've got some other figures doing it the way you probably should do it, and again, I'm giving you the bare bones. If you're broke and you're trying your best to get a Coyote in your car and you're going to do everything else later, you can do it for this. You can do it for less than this if you find the motor cheaper. I paid less than that for my engine, so yeah, I mean, find a good deal. You can buy these headers used. You can buy the X-pipe used. You can buy control packs used. All these parts you can use. I went ahead and did them at full market value, full retail value from LMR, and again, for $300. You could probably knock another $1,000 off of that buying used parts, maybe more. But again, this is, you know, in a perfect world, your car is a stick shift. It's a GT 96 to 04 car, which originally came with a modular engine. So yeah, I mean, not a whole heck of a lot of money. I mean, you're not you're not going to make an additional 180 horsepower, have factory drivability, factory reliability for $5,400. No supercharger is going to do that on a 4.62 valve. I don't care. You're gonna make over 400 horsepower at the wheels with this combination. Okay, guys, and where the value lies and why this swap is so worth it is because this essentially is picking you up 180 plus horsepower, and I'm figuring, you know, a 2-valve, you know, a good running stock 2-valve might make 220 to the tire. This one's going to make 420 to 430 at the tire. So, I mean, do the math. I mean, I've seen tuned Vortec 2-valves, tuned ProCharge 2-valves that made like 360, 370, 380. You know, a stock 03 Cobra makes 360 to the tire. So, you know, you're getting an idea of how much power you're actually making for the money. And not only that, but you've got factory reliability, factory drivability. You know, an engine that's designed to go however long, 100,000, 200, 300,000 miles, however long a factory engine goes. So that's where a lot of the real value lies in this. And then if you want more power, put a supercharger on it. All right, guys, so let's dive in a little bit deeper on those things that you know, will require you to do this. Again, you've seen in the video series all the cutting and the beating and the banging and the modifying we had to do to the oil pan, the K-member, the headers, you know, so on and so forth to make that work. So you're gonna have to throw a little elbow grease in to get it done this cheap, and this is cheap. So bear that in mind. You see, again, go back and watch all the videos. I don't need to go into it again. You saw what we had to do. We made it work. We got it in, and then we made some changes. So what should you do, or what could you do shortly after that as funds make themselves available? Get yourself a K-member. You can get a K-member without A-arms. I looked on LMR, $374. Drop that K-member in, use your stock A-arms, spring cups, you're good to go. I mean, no worries. Again, $349. Now, to use your air and your power steering and all that, get your power by the hour bracket kit, $749. So add that to your total. Probably gonna need a better clutch. I mean, you can run the clutch you got, but I wouldn't, unless you've already got one. You know, $300, $340, you get a decent clutch. I don't know what all is done to your car. You might already have a great clutch in it, so you probably don't need one. You know, let's talk about, that's not including a cold air intake. The Ford Racing control pack comes with an air box that you can use, so budget minded, you can use your stock air, the stock air box that comes with it. But you know, you want a cold air intake, I would. About $300. You get a JLT or a PMAS, something like that. You will need it tuned. Now, I'm not going to put a tune price in here because they're all over the map. You can get a remote tune. You can go to a dyno. I've seen you can get remote tunes done for like $250. So there you go. That's doing it right. So you're gonna add some extra cost to that. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much covering everything, guys. But again, bare bones, you're about $5,300. Doing it right, you're gonna get closer to 8,000. So again, that's basically what a supercharger kit for one of these cars is gonna run you, and you're not gonna pick up 180 horsepower. So that, guys, that's pretty much it. And you know, this car you know, was a fun build, but you know, there's also that part where you get in to do something and other things are going to rear their ugly head. You know, this car needed struts on it. You know, he wanted to go ahead and lower it while he was at it. His motor mounts were good, but your motor mounts might not be. Your transmission might not be. Your clutch might not be. You know, you may want to not use your stock catback or whatever catback you've got on the car, so you might want to add that. I mean, you just don't ever know. Until you start tearing the car apart, you don't ever know. I mean, we use the stock fans, we use the stock radiators, you know, so many different things. And another thing I forgot to add in is the Dakota digital cluster that we did in this car. Yes, you can spend a lot of time wiring up your factory gauges and they'll work fine. You can do that. You know, that's free. Your labor is free. You know, if you want the Dakota digital cluster, which I recommend, I mean, it's in my car, it's in this car, it's in his car. They're fantastic units and the accuracy is great, but you're going to be out about 700 bucks. So there's a lot of things to consider, guys. Trying to do videos like this is like telling you how much it costs to build a house, because, you know, you can have a trailer or you can have a mansion. There's a lot of options, and these builds are no different. They're exactly what you want them to be. So what I recommend to you and to everybody that is considering this swap, be clear about what you have, be clear about what you want, and then, you know, get on LMR or eBay or wherever and figure out the prices and go from there. Are you going to do the work yourself? Are you going to pay a shop to do the work? Because if you're paying a shop to do the work, you know, you're going to need to figure about 100 hours. You know, it's a lot of work to do these swaps, but if you know how to do it, nothing to it. If you don't, it's going to be a little expensive. Bear that in mind. Okay, guys, last and final thing before we kind of put this whole thing to rest is I get inundated with people saying, why don't I buy the crankable pallet, you know, the engines that'll start on a pallet, or why don't I buy a wrecked car and all that. The reason that you want to buy a control pack and not that is because new cars use modules. So basically, to make everything work, you have to have the entire wiring harness system, all the modules. All those individual modules have to be programmed, and they have to be programmed by a Ford dealer most of the time. Not only that, but you have passive anti-theft, and you have to use the original cluster on and on and on. That is the reason that the crank on the pallets are not necessary. You need an engine, you need a control pack. That's it. The wrecked car stuff, while you can do it, it's not ideal. It doesn't make sense. The crank on a pallet, while it's cool, and while maybe in some applications it might be all right, this is the best way to do it. Get an engine, get a control pack, simplify your life. It's the best way to do it. All right, guys, so there you go. That's gonna be pretty much the gist of it. Again, just can't beat it. Just can't beat it. If you want that Yoti, which I definitely recommend, there's some insight for you. I hope that helps, and hope that helps make your decision. And again, do your own research. You got to decide what you want. Guys, I get inundated with messages. Dover gets inundated with messages and emails, on and on and on. People wanting to know how much it costs. There's a lot of variables, guys. There's so many different variables, accessories. You know, what year is your car? What transmission's in your car? Do you want air? Do you want power steering? Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3? We can't answer that. And I've done my best to give you a good idea in this video, and it took a lot of research to get this done, an entire car build to figure it out. And these are simple swaps. So there you go, guys. Again, Google is your friend. Get on LMR, get on eBay, look at the prices of stuff, and all the best in your build, because it's fun. It's worth it. This extra 180 horsepower makes this a lot of fun, and people don't really look at a Edge car GT and expect a whole lot. When you blow their doors off, it's a good feeling. Keep it a sleeper. That's what he's doing. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got some value out of it, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And we'll have more of this, I promise. Lots more of this. Later.